Falling up, baby, keep that ransom up in my face, I love. Baby, gotta hit the 80 when she coming on my love. Maybe she just need to hit my phone, or maybe leave me alone. Baby, I'm just thinking too much, baby, I'm just in my dome.
What's poppin'? It's Uncle Moon, and you're watching The Dark Side of the Moon. This is episode 1, entitled Zion, where we are going to talk about the new phase of the planet and where it is shifting into. I like to call it Zion because of the Matrix movie. Although I envisioned it to be a lot more different than the Zion. Well, Zion is more so just like a peaceful resolution to the planet and a space where we can all just be ourselves and there isn't much conflict. I mean, conflict is a part of life. You know, sometimes it's unfortunate conflict, but life and death cycles, they must come and they must go. But I feel as though the planet is coming into an understanding of that cycle and the Earth's natural fluid movements. Almost like our bodies kind of get rid of things when we don't need it, and it flushes it down our system and gets rid of it, kind of in the same sense. So you can see it in a lot of media, a lot of everything that's just around the world. It just seems like everything's kind of falling apart. And this is because during 2020, that was pretty much like the last year for that decade, and everything, it was like, all right, death cycle now. Death cycle, everything comes to the forefront. Everything is like, all right, we're shifting to the next part. So what do we have to let go of to get to the next part, you know? So now we're here 2 years later, where it's like 2022. This is the year of union. This is the year of like understanding why we went through all that hell and what we're gonna take from it and use and how we're gonna push forward. So before I go on with anything else, you know, I like to start the sessions off with hitting the Tibetan Bell. Mine is tuned to lower chakra, so it's about grounding. You know, it's around the root chakra, I believe. Last time I got the key for it or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna hit this. You're gonna take a deep breath in for 3 seconds. I'm gonna count, and you're gonna let it go. So 1, 2, 3, and let it go. 1, 2, 3, and let it go. It's a cleansing breath. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so as you may have noticed, your energy is a lot more cleansed, and you can hear me with clarity, peace of mind, and you can get this message the way that it needs to be presented to you. Sorry about the lighting in the last video. I didn't realize till like after I was done shooting it that you couldn't see my face. It was hilarious. But it's more so about the message. You know, I would recommend to go watch the intro again so you can understand like what I'm going to be talking about during this season and what it's going to be all about, what the energy is about, how I'm going to show up, blase, you know, the whole 9. I'm really taking it from a perspective of we are all tied into this together. So, you know, whatever you're going through, like I'm going through a similar version of that, but based on the amount of healing and work that you do on a daily basis on yourself, it affects you differently and you show up differently and you respond to things differently. So, you know, as during the facets of life, we learn things, but sometimes we have to just take a step back and take a breather and just know that there are other entities and other things out there that are here to help us and teach us. And if you are here watching this video, that means that you are aligned to this specific moment and this message is for you. So just take it as it comes, you know. would like to start off this talk with one card from my Mystic Monday Tarot, and then afterwards we're going to talk a little bit more about what Zion will look like, at least the messages that I've been getting about what Zion is going to look like and what it's going to feel like. We've already experienced a vast majority of, uproots and really situations that are bringing us back to self and trying to union ourselves with our masculine and feminine energy, kind of get them to be together versus separation, especially during this time. And once we kind of unionize with ourselves, we can unionize with other people, and that's when like the Renaissance starts. We always have a Renaissance period and different times, and this just happens to be that time. Alright, so I pulled the Seven of Cups. My number is 7, so that's so funny. This is what it looks like. Again, this is the Monday tarot. I also have a camera right here, so you should be able to see it on the screen once I'm done editing and everything. Again, I'm still learning the cards and stuff. It's a lot. They're like, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's around, I could be entirely wrong about this. Actually, let me just do the fucking math. If there's this and that, there's 4, and then the numbers stop at like 10. There's about like 72 cards in this thing, if you add it all up roughly. So yeah, I'm still learning. It's a lot to keep up with, especially with everything that I do. But eventually I will get there, and I will be able to spit like no other. So the key words for this this card, the Seven of Cups, which represents the energy of this entire reading, for the majority, is illusion, prizes, temptation. Be careful what you wish for. Many prizes are presented to you, some of which may not be in your best interest. You are projecting your dreams onto reality, creating illusions that seem way too good to be true. Too many options can be confusing, and you find yourself constantly living in a state of FOMO. FOMO is a fear of missing out, for fear of making the wrong choice. Each cup offers you a different prize, representing areas of your life, each filled with a wish. However, it does not promise a positive result. Be clear on what your long-term visions are, so that whichever cup you choose brings you closer to your goals. Temptation is calling, offering vices that are hard to ignore. These choices, however, can come with long-term consequences, so weigh your pros and cons if you choose to indulge. So with that being said, I would like to go a little bit more in depth with that. So as Zion is being created, like I said, a lot of things are being broken down. So a lot of things are being created in the same instance. So in this new reality, in this new world, you have an opportunity to change what you've been doing so far and approach it with a new playing card, a new deck, excuse me. So that being said, there will be many opportunities where it's like it seems too good to be true, and normally it's because it is. So I don't want to get people confused when I say that. What I mean by this is that, let me just paint the picture. Say that you really need some money to make like your business thrive, and you just started your business and you're working so much, and like somebody rolls around and like, you know what, we can do some scams, and we can steal some money from the bank, get you a little 10 racks for you, and in hindsight, well, not hindsight, in that current moment, I guess that might be hindsight. In that current moment, that's not definite hindsight, my ass. Anyways, in that current moment, it seems so good. It's like, yeah, this is what I needed. I've been needing so much money, and I would love to take part in that. But in the same instance, you are building a faulty foundation for yourself, for your business, for your energy, for the way you do things just in general. And like how you react to this moment in time. If you were to make that choice and to take part in that, you will always have a part of your business that is part of that. So that being said, as you go on into the future, you may not see you may not be caught, you may get away with it, you may keep all the money, but your business will always have a hole in it because its foundation isn't correctly built with telling the truth, not stealing, taking from things that aren't yours, like not working for your shit. Like whether it's mentally, you're gonna be in this mental place where that hole is gonna exist, and you're just gonna keep creating this faulty foundation because of the foundation that you created, or it'll be like a more physical and literal aspect, as say like you have to do taxes, and like your business makes so much money, but they look at the beginning of your business and they're like, where did you get this money from? And they kind of tie 1 and 2 together. They're like, oh, this is fake money. And you have like this whole thing, and now you're being sued by the company that you stole from, or like the bank that you stole from, and you have to serve jail time. And this is like 2-3 years in the future, and then like you get busted on it, but then you gotta go to probation, and you might have to serve jail time. It's just like you gotta really be careful about how you build your foundation right now in this current period of time, because it's gonna return to you. If you build your foundation on fear, if you build your foundation on like, yeah, I hate these niggas, I hate these people, blase, hate, shoot them up, bang, 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 like you're gonna get that shit in return. Like you're gonna keep recreating that. And there's time during Zion's creation and foundational premise, like you should be clearing your energy out, you should be working on yourself, you should be charging towards the things that you do like if you're an artist, go create. If you're studying, camera just shut off. Man, I ran out of space, baby. I ran out of space. So there might be a little temporary period of where there is no video. Oh, my battery's dying. That's why. Well, that's fine. For next time, we shall have the camera. But anywho, nonetheless, be careful about how you create your foundations in this period of time, because it's always going to come back to bite you in the ass. That's enough about this card. That was the 7 of Cups again. So yeah, so a little bit more things about Zion is I like to envision Zion as those scenes in movies where it's like far into the future, and like we have developed our technologies, however that may look. It's gonna look different in different realities, So with that being said, there's like a lot of technologies that are going to inflict and affect the world. For one, we are in the age of the Aquarius, so a lot of technological advancement is going on right now. A lot of change is going on right now, because we gotta remember that Aquarius is a air sign, so air signs mean the season of death and change. So yeah, the technology is like we're understanding that the planet is at a place where it's like it's always fluid, it's always getting rid of things, it's always changing. But now you have to understand that the energy that you put out is going to return. So if the planet is at a place where we keep putting negative energy into it so much to the point where it's like, okay, y'all gonna keep getting in return what y'all put out. So tornadoes, fucking earthquakes, fucking the blood rain that's going on right now. I feel weird about the diseases thing, like, because I feel like a lot of them are man-made, but that's another topic of discussion. But yeah, it's just a lot of earthly things that are going on right now. It's like in response to how the world is going right now, and with a lot of technological advancement and understanding of that premise, it's like, okay, we have to do something about that. we have to figure out a way where we can stop using so much fossil fuels, because it's just burning up the resources on our planet that are not as renewable as maybe water or sunlight or fucking wind. Like, we gotta start using those resources, because if we keep using the resources that don't last, we're gonna keep fucking shit up. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to keep doing that. It's retarded. Like, we have enough sense, and it's not even about the financial aspect, because the finances are always going to come back. Like, if you're being greedy about that aspect, that's where we're in the point that we're in right now with this world. You know, if you're being greedy and all that, which most of them are, which is why a lot of the technologies and stuff that we should be having could have been built a long time ago. And honestly, a lot of people have patents for stuff that were like ran off of different energies. So it's really just based off of a greed perspective more than anything else. But I feel as though a lot of people will tap into that, because we need that. We need technologies that don't prohibit us from moving forward, but help us move forward, you know? Another aspect of the technology aspect is really like, there are gonna be two sides. There are going to be sides of people who divulge so much into technology that they lose their selves, and people who are more grounded with the technology that is the planet, because we have to understand that the highest form of technology isn't actually these iPhones and these computer screens and these cars. Like, the highest form of technology is actually the planet itself. The planet itself is technology. It's just a different type of technology that's far more advanced. And if we can learn to be with that and understand ourselves at the same time, because we are also part of that technology, that the infrastructure, we will be able to evolve. But some people are keeping themselves from growing by being too much into the technology, too much into the system. They're plugging themselves into it. And like the VR reality, for instance, like, y'all are really going to VR bars when y'all can just go to a fucking real ass bar and actually enjoy some real drinks. Like those two situations are two different situations. Like, one, you're staring into a screen and like your eyes are getting all that blue light, and you're fucking up. You're like your psyche, you know, you can't talk right. You're stuttering. Like, your mind's not operating where it need to be operating. Like, that shit has long effects. Like, it has effects on long periods of time. But the people on the right side, like, there's like no right or wrong, but I'm saying, like, on the right side and the left side, the people who are taking the opportunity to be like, okay, this technology can help me, but I'm not going to let it hinder me. I'm going to connect with myself. I'm going to take time away from technology. I'm going to take time to breathe, take time to go outside and breathe actual physical air, and do the same things I can do online, but in physical reality, because that's going to make me much more happier as an individual. It's going to keep these diseases, most of the diseases that we have right now are just based on the reality that we live in, and like how the world just like is constantly pounding on the soul and the mind and the finances and just every aspect, you know. When you connect more with the earth, connect and kind of detach from like reality for like say in the morning time, like you start up, if you don't get up from your phone, if you don't get on your phone in the morning times when you first wake up, and instead you take the opportunity to breathe, go stand outside, drink some tea, you will notice that your life will change just based off of that daily routine activity if you're doing it every day. Like, instead of you hopping on your phone and you're getting programmed by whatever is on your screen, like, you can follow all the coolest people in the world and still be programmed, and like, you could follow all the knowledgeable people in the world and still be programmed. Like, someone's gonna have some insecurity, someone's gonna have some information that doesn't currently align with who you are as an individual, and it's best to create your foundation first and then kind of step into the world. And then you'll be like, okay, I can hear this is something that they're going through, and it's not really what I'm going through, so I'm not going to take that and pick that as a part of my vibration. You know, like, you separate yourself, but not separating yourself, because you're still part of the whole, but you're more contained energy versus just energy when you wake up and you're like, and you know, yeah, I'll be waking up like that. I'll be like highly energetic, but it's like all over the place. I'm like, I gotta drink some water. I know what I gotta do. I gotta play some music. Like I'm playing music that are like peaceful, you know, stretch, workout, you know, get my neck, you know, because you get energy stuck in places, you know, because we are energetic beings, electromagnetic beings, just like the planet, just like everything else. So like when you open up these areas, you let that electromagnetic energy that is stuck, stagnant from you being in one position all night, or maybe you don't, maybe you move around in your sleep, but at some point in time period, you got energy stuck. So letting that energy flow through you so that you can go through your day just feeling light and at peace and like where you need to be, like that's so much better than hopping shit on your phone every single time. Nonetheless, yeah, a lot of technological advancement. So more technologies that I see and envision is there has to be an incorporation of, like, there is movement into the electric car. We already see that. It's already a bunch of electric cars out. But now they're at a point in period where they're actually taking the time period in which we want it to be all the cars electric, and they're shortening it. So it's going to be more electric cars really quick. And so with that being said, there's going to be a whole different market that comes with that. In the stock market, the financial situation will change. There has to be, for the shift to happen, you have to like let go of some old values and stuff. So there will be a recession. There will be a time period in which the financial situation will be in a sort of discord, because it's like when you're dying, it's not like it's a beautiful experience, but it's like it hurts, you know, like it should have, like whatever, however the fuck you're dying, like it's happening, unless you just got euthanized, you know, and that's a different experience. But like as we can see, like there's like war shit going on, like people are oppressed and people are just doing crazy shit, like, you know, like that's what it's gonna look like on the market field, you know, like once it starts happening. So but like things must end for things to begin. So don't be looking at it like, oh no, the world's ending. Like the world is always constantly ending in some sort of aspect, you know, like it's gonna keep going to infinity. So let go and drop that notion that things are gonna stop, because that's what they want you to be in continuously. Because if you're in that mindset continuously, you're not gonna be able to operate. You're gonna be operating off of fear just continuously. And when you operate off of fear, you let things into you when you operate off of fear that are vibrating on that fear vibration. You know, like things that are like low insecurity thoughts, like I'm not beautiful, or you know, this and that. And then you have this voice in your head, it starts agreeing with you. It's like, yeah, you aren't beautiful. And you just keep allowing that energy to be and flourish, and it just gets stronger and stronger and bigger, and it feels more at home inside of you because you let it in. But yeah, nonetheless, I was talking about like how the financial situation is going to change with the new technologies, but it all kind of ties. Can't talk. It all ties into each other. So there's that. So another thing about Zion is like, as beings, we have always had some sort of war, like some sort of fight. There's always going to be some sort of a disagreement. That's something that you cannot ignore. But it's about how we go about it, how we communicate that out. And from the looks of it, it's like we're going to have to protect ourselves. Like there are a lot of people who just aren't operating in the fullest mindset, and they're operating off of that fear frequency and off of the shit that's being told to them from media. And they're going out into these cities and doing crazy shit. Like you've seen it all in the news. I feel like a lot of it is planned, but you know, they don't want it to seem that way. But it just seems like it all kind of happened all at once, and it's like, hold up, wait a second. This don't seem kind of weird, y'all. It's all happening at once. Everybody going around shooting people with guns, like all at once. It seemed that way, but. And then they made this law like recently about how everybody can just go get a gun and not have a license, and they just sporadically just made that shit pop up, and then all this shit start happening. So it's just like Zion is like we're coming back to a place of like understanding that we might need to protect ourselves. We gotta learn how to actually tone our bodies up and learn how to use weapons and stuff like that. Like, it is what it is. You know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. You know, especially with what's going on, it's already being presented to y'all. Like they have any moment they can do anything that they choose to really want to do. And when it comes down to how you're gonna protect yourself and your family, that's just why Zion is. You know, but there's also like, have goodwill. It's always important to have goodwill. Like, just don't be going out and just using your weapons to go harm people because you feel a way about what they're doing and who they are. Like, you creating crimes because somebody has a different skin tone than you. That's the most stupidest thing that you could ever do in your fucking life. Like, we are all literally the same. We just have different skin tones, different places that we come from. Like that. Just because my cat is a cat don't mean he or she, but I got a dog, I got a male and a female. Doesn't mean that they don't have life. Like, they don't have feelings. Like, they don't feel shit. Like, I'm not gonna treat them any kind of differently. You know, I'm gonna treat them with respect and honor and reverence because that's what you're supposed to do. You know, and like, just look at the human anatomy, bro. We are all the fucking same. We got 2 eyes for the most part. Nose, mouth, and I'm saying for the most part for all these things because some people are not born with those things, but neither here or there. We have all those aspects. We have the blood, we have the tissue. It's like, the only thing that changes the pigmentation of our skin, you know, because of where on the continent we were born, you know. So I say all to say, like, use your brain wisely. Don't just be using weapons just to go and harm people. Like, that's never what I want. But I do want y'all to understand that as shit's going down, like, you're gonna have to learn how to protect yourself, because like, if you just by yourself, like, and like shit go down, like, you just by yourself and you got like 4 crazy ass people who are abusing their power and doing shit that they shouldn't be doing, and you're just there. You're like, all that time I could have been using a couple months ago to like buff my body up and get my mind up and detox, and you learn how to use something. I could have been like protecting myself in that specific moment. So it's really like it's like being rather safe than sorry, you know. So another aspect of Zion is, despite all those crazy attributes, there would be a lot more community, you know. And there's gonna be a lot more of people being in their ego less. There's gonna be a lot more connectivity because we understand that all is mind and everything's connected. So how you want to be treated is how you're gonna have to treat other people. And it's always been that way, but now it's just like right there in front of your face. You know, like it's like the time period we moved from is like, like 100 years, a couple hundred years ago, men were treating women like they just were nothing, like, you know, and they had to bow down to them and all that shit. Even though like 100 years before that, like they were treated in some sort of equal reciprocity, like in Egypt, some parts of Egypt. I won't say it all, like, you know, like some parts of just different places in general that just people don't treat other people right because of some form of ego. That's all it really comes down to, is fucking ego. Like, when you realize that you're all the same, it's just like you stop having that fucking issue. But some people never stop having that fucking issue. They just keep going in their ego. But like I said, the consciousness of the planet is shifting and changing, and as it shifts and changes, like, there's gonna be like new understandings of how things are ruled through. And which gives me a good thing to talk about, because it's happening in a lot of people's like interpersonal lives, where people are choosing their pronouns. So as spirit and everything is, we are connected to everything, you know. And if God is if we were made in the image of God, and there are men and there are women, God is neither a man or a woman. God is both. So with that being said, like, that's why people are choosing pronouns. Whether they really know it or not, they're just choosing to align with what aspect that they feel is really like the ones they connect with, even though we have both masculine and feminine energy inside of us, and we just had to happen to have more than the other to be born in whatever we were born into, you know. Please don't go through that door. It is closed. That's pretty much some thoughts I've had about Zion for a minute. There's a lot more, but I want to keep this video short, so well, not too short, because I want to be able to just give the knowledge no matter what. But yeah, I'm gonna lead this next part of this session into the reading. I'm gonna choose 3 cards from the Monday Tarot, and I'm also going to choose 1 Oracle card. Ooh, buddy old pal. It's getting kind of hot in here. Hot in here. Let's turn the fan on or something. I really can't turn the fan on because that's gonna ruin the lighting and everything. It's like so weird. Like my fan is like routed to one of the lights. It's like the only way to turn it on is to have a light on. It's like sometimes I'll be asleep, I'll be afraid. It's like But I got a little fan on the side, so I ain't gonna be tripping too much, but you're like, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and choose 3 cards for you. So we got the Empress in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the 5 of Cups in reverse. Reversals, I do read reversals. I feel as though like reading reversals is like looking at the yin and the yang. Like not everything is bad though. It's like it's good and bad and good. It's really just about balance through everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you are. And yeah. So with the Empress is the 3rd card in the tarot. It's a reverse again. So the keywords here are dependence, attachment, fruitless. There is a lack of harmony in your life as you try to juggle everything to maintain balance. Stretching yourself way too thin and placing others' needs before your own is causing unnecessary stress. Getting back to sync means aligning yourself back to your own desires. Fill yourself up so that you have enough to give to others without depleting your own resources. Lack of energy and creative blocks leave you feeling uninspired and monotonous. On the other hand, you may also be taking on the role of an overbearing mother who was too protective or demanding over her relationships. Under or overripe, the fruit is not ready for picking. Replenish yourself and you will be able to find your center. Ground yourself back to the loving energy of the Mother Earth with compassion. So a lot of things ran through my mind as I was saying that. First, there was the mention of balance. Like I said, it's important that we have balance and harmony in our life. So with that being said, it's important to give to others because you want that helping hand when you need it most. So giving it to other people when they need it most is good, but you also don't want to overgive, which is something I had to learn for myself. And you can give so much and that person just keep coming back, but they're not actually doing the work for themselves. So they just keep coming back to you, taking your energy, and you just wondering why you so depleted and why you just like in the zone of like, So how this ties into the message of Zion, like I said, things are getting built right now. So it's good to work on yourself, work on your finances, work on your mindset, work on your daily routine, and work on your craft, work on whatever it is that you really like out of life. Like find what it is that you love, you know, and focus on that right now, because that's what your heart needs. Your heart needs that to exist. It needs a purpose, because like a spirit, like we're everything. So our purpose is like really just to exist. But as we're in these bodies, it's like, okay, now that I'm in this body, like I want to do something. Like I came out here for a reason. Like I want to enjoy this while I'm here. What is my purpose? What do I stand for? So get into the routine of learning what that is, doing what that is, and healing yourself in the same instance. And you will notice that, like, coming into the month of like June, you're one person, and ending June, you're an entirely different motherfucker. You like, this is 1 month of time. You'd be surprised how much you'll change when you actually just sit there and really just be in your energy and try to, uplift yourself, do all that change and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to hold us too long. We have like Queen of Cups here. Goddamn, I can't talk. Queen of Cups. Alright, so the Queen of Cups is in reverse. We have restriction, delusion, over emotional. Before I say anything else, remember that tarot is fluid. Not all these messages are for you. There are a lot of people watching these videos, so that means that the message is for one of them. Or take the message not as face value. A lot of times we take the messages and stuff that we see in reality as face value, but really it's a whole different other aspect, And when you start tapping into more than one dimension and shifting dimensions and shit, you understand that everybody's experiencing the same incident, but people are understanding the same incident in different ways based off of the dimension that they see from. So like me saying the Queen of Cups and shit, like someone is being like, oh my God, this is showing up and this and this and this and this, because they're tapped into 7 dimensions, and the other person is like sitting on 2 still, and they're like, only 2 things, or nothing at all, type shit. But neither here or there. We have the key word is restriction, delusion, over emotional. A lack of spiritual fulfillment has left you craving deeper meaning and connection. Bottled up emotions are in danger of bursting, leaving you constantly frustrated and overwhelmed. Feelings may be considered weakness in your upbringing, and as a result, you can feel uncomfortable with being vulnerable. Living in a fantasy has you glassy-eyed with unrealistic expectations. Mood swings and manipulative behavior keep you at a safe distance, where the Queen of Cups reverse can rule with a ravage of rage and melancholy. Other people's emotions feed off of you to where you begin to take them on as your own. Create healthy boundaries and learn to listen to what you are truly feeling, not projections. Protect your magic. You are the queen of your emotions, or king in this case. Remember that tarot is fluid, so we have masculine and feminine energy, so sometimes we tap into those different energies for different aspects. But again, like I said in the very beginning of this video, creating healthy boundaries and learn to listen to what you are truly feeling, not projections. So that goes hand in hand about how I said that you need to start your day. You need to start your day creating healthy boundaries. You create those healthy boundaries by generating your own energy and figuring out who you are. That's how you create healthy boundaries. And then when you start to see and interact with the world, you be like, oh, okay, that's not me. That's not for me. I don't believe what you're saying because I know who I am, So taking that time to get spiritual fulfillment and to really dive into yourself is going to fuel you. It's going to feed different aspects of yourself. I'm human just like the rest of us. Sometimes I get in these states of like loneliness because I spend a lot of time by myself. I've been doing a lot of healing work and really just wanting to build my world how I see fit. And it's best sometimes to do that alone because, you're always going to have these energies like poking into your energy if you're not alone. And like, you could be the most strongest and most willed person, individual, but somehow, some way, people are going to rub off on you, whether good or bad. So sometimes you just need to take the time to just be by yourself, whether it's for a night, a day, a couple of days, a week, shit, a month. We're still connection creatures, though, so it's important to have that connection, have that connection with others. But yeah, move on to the last card, the Five of Cups. Again, the Five of Cups is in reverse. The Five of Cups in reverse is forgiveness, emotional maturity, and recovery. Facing disappointment is not easy, so be proud of yourself. You've done a lot of inner work and are now ready to release and move on. Recovery from regret and acceptance of your past leads you closer to personal freedom. One step at a time, you are letting yourself be vulnerable. Even though it was painful in the past, you acknowledge that life will be full of its moments, pain included. Knowing what you don't want is the best way to figure out what you do want. If you're having trouble letting go, now is a good time to face your shadow self head on and bring light into your darkness. Bring your feelings to the surface so that you can get some closure and move on. Change, although uncomfortable, is sometimes needed to elevate your life. So that statement that popped up in my head was something about knowing the truth. First it'll piss you off, but then it'll set you free. That's how it goes, something like that. But that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Like, you know, take the opportunity to accept the lessons and everything that you've learned up to this point in time, and don't let them weigh you down. Don't let them take you out, because they were just situations. If you were to wake up tomorrow not remembering your name, not remembering anything that happened to you, not remembering who you are, those situations will no longer be a burden to you. And they're only a burden because you choose to hold on to them and not forgive who or yourself, or just, life. Just forgive life. Forgive and let go allows you to move on and allows you to make room for other things to come in. Like, for instance, cleaning up your room and taking things out that you know that you don't need anymore, and clearing things out, getting rid of some furniture that you really don't like. It all makes room for your room to get new things in the room, and the room being I don't know the right word for this, but the room being, it's definitely not simile. All the allegory stuff and like all the words, they get me confused sometimes. I gotta do some studying. But nonetheless, the room is basically another word for your life, like, or your body. Like, take it how you see fit. When you take things out of your body, you detox, like you cleanse out, like, let's say you eat McDonald's. McDonald's is, I don't want to make fun of nobody's life, or like, whatever you do with your life is what you do with your life. It is what it is. But McDonald's is like, and other franchises like it, are number one causes for like us feeling the way that we be feeling, So if you take a moment to detox and get that out of your system, you make room for all the things that you're really searching for. Like, if you're feeling negative on a daily basis, it might just be that food. If you're not being able to communicate with other people because your mind isn't working right, it might just be that food. If your money situation is not really where it need to be, it might just be that food. It'd be situations that we do things and we don't realize that those little small things have a very big impact on our lives and our livelihood and how we attract and how we are. But yeah, again, so this time period, take the opportunity to build your world. Take this year to build yourself, to reflect, to let go, to heal, to forgive, and to just enjoy life, love life, and love other people, and be the love that you want the world to be. And know that you don't have to be plastic. You don't have to be what the media, social media tells you have to be. You don't have to be what the market tells you have to be. You don't have to be what your parents tell you have to be. You don't have to be what your brothers, sisters. Doesn't matter. Whoever you want to be, choose to be that person. And when you choose to be that person, you have other like-minded individuals who will come and support you as that person. So the same goes as negative too. Like if you're gonna be a shitty person, like you're gonna get that shitty lifestyle. If that's what you want, you're gonna get it. So it is what it is. Spirit then told you. It's probably telling you on a daily. This is another message. Take it how you want to. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up with one last card, and that'll be the card from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Again, to keep in mind that the Oracle of Radiant Sun is very cryptic. In certain areas, a lot of it is more to the point. And another thing I noticed, like inside of the cards, like when you start reading it, when I start reading it, like it talks about the sign of the card and the planet of the card, and it'll say like, I don't know, maybe you're Taurus, Venus Taurians, or this and that. So like, just take it as if you are that Venus Taurian. Like, take it as if that is the specific individual you are showing up as in your current life. And if you're not showing up as that individual, then this message isn't for you, you know? But there will be stuff in the message that might be specifically for you. So take what is needed for you. So we got a pretty cool card here today. We have secrets. I don't know if you can see that. You see that. So the number on the top is 8. The number 8 represents abundance, financials, that kind of life. The symbol that is below, is definitely the sign of Venus. So again, it has like signs on the bottom. Well, it's a planet Venus, my apologies. And the signs on the other side is Virgo. Yeah, again, it's 8. So I'm on the wrong page. Oops. You read that out to you as you look at the card. There's a word right there. The inscrutable winged phoenix, the head of a ram, indicating the Martian link with the sign of Aries, is a symbol of the deep secrets of the past. Surrounding the Sphinx, oh my God, I call this a whole different sign than what it is. It is actually Scorpio. I'm still learning my signs and like how they're drawn. That's something I gotta learn. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna read this again. The inscrutable winged phoenix, the head of a ram, indicating the Martian link with the sign of Aries, is a symbol of the deep secrets of the past. Surrounding the Sphinx are knots, glyphs, and keys to many mysteries. Remember how we was talking about how you're gonna have many different options? Look right there. Personal. In matters of love, Venus in Scorpio is the hot house. In the opposite sign to its natural home, Taurus, the gentle nature of Venus becomes an emotional fireball. Also, while we're talking about Venus, this is so crazy. Last night I actually dropped my song Venus. I also dropped a music video to go along with it. I'm doing this kind of thing right now. I got 3 albums out and like 2 EPs. I think it's 1 EP, like on all platforms. But as of right now, I'm in this place of like where I'm trying to experiment with my music and trying to develop myself a little bit more. So I've gone back to SoundCloud to just drop like little experimental tracks and whatnot, and I'm calling them moon styles. And each moon style has a story that has been generated from my most recent album called After the Revolution. And so it's basically like a story of this immortal character, the immortal character being you, an individual. And in each song that I drop, it's going to come out with a new episode of the story, and so you get a chance to follow that as you're listening to the music, you know, and the story and the music kind of coincides with it. But anyways, the song is called Venus. This just reminded me of that, because everything's coming to union right now, so there's going to be a lot of new relationships with self, new relationships, and just in all aspects, whether that be business relationships or relationship, like, what do you call it? More intimate relationships. Yeah. In romantic life, people with this planet-sized sign aspect are passionate, loyal, and strongly sexed. Their reactions are emotional and desires are intense. They are also secretive and do not talk about their inner emotional life easily. And look how it's tied in with the other cards we had. We had a lot of cards talk about emotional, pretty much watch your emotions and, you know, choose how you're going to react, essentially, because how you react is how you're going to get a response. The reactions are emotional and desires are intense. They are also secretive and do not talk about their inner emotional life easily. This card describes someone who idealizes friends and loved ones and makes sacrifices for them without a second thought. Letdowns can turn all this into cold indifference. Even when a vindictiveness with the extreme nature of this personality, the artistic side of Venus in Scorpio can manifest in strong dramatic contrast. Often it indicates interest in the inner mysteries and occult arts. This is a suggestion of financial gain through marriage or partnership with this card. It can also hint at an inheritance. On occasions, the placing of Venus reveals a highly sensuous nature or overemphasis on sex. The sexual drive of Venus Scorpios is powerful, and if not overly sensuous, they do best with a creative outlet for that pent-up energy. So just a little background with me. I put it in my first season, but I've been on this abstinence journey, where I'm just gonna be abstinent for 2 years. I am now officially I'm about to be a year in, so I'm about to have like a year left. And yeah, I've been cultivating my energy. I've been participating also in NoFap, whatever you want to call it. It's basically essentially where you keep your sperm inside of you and you don't let it go for like long periods of time, so that your DNA starts to evolve and you start to heal. Your emotional self heals. You become a lot more balanced. You become a lot more in a zen state, you know. You don't have to hold it forever. It's honestly, like, it's been proven to, you don't have to hold it forever, and it's best that you don't, because you're a sexual being at the end of the day. Sorry, my battery thing. You're a sexual being at the end of the day, so it's important to participate in that, because that's how you're going to evolve as well. We don't need to negate the fact that you're a sexual being. You just need to learn yourself as a sexual being, you know. And so I say all that to say, like, that's what I've been on the last couple months. So it's but I have a high sex drive. Like, I have a high libido, because I'm a very creative individual. As you can see, like, my room is basically my soul, but flipped out. You know, like I say, how you become what you are. Like, everything is shown outside of yourself. Like, this is my world. Like, I built this based off my sexual drive. Like, my music is my sexual drive. Like, my creativity is my sexual drive. My painting is my sexual drive. Anything creative is also your sexual drive. Like, whether you are passionate about like nursing, or passionate about like reading, or becoming a teacher, like that is rooted in your sacral chakra. It's rooted in your sexual drive, your passions. You know, it goes hand in hand. So like, you know, Venus is making love to yourself, whether that be like love that's going to be on the outside, but there's a lot of things that are coming from that love that are going to be birthed from that love, because like when you tie your masculine and feminine energy in, they make the Trinity. It's the Father, the Son, the Father, the Mother, and the thing that they create together, or just the two different aspects of those things. You know, you get it. I don't know what that was. The sexual drive of Venus Scorpios is powerful, and if not overly sensuous, they do best with a creative outlet for that pent-up energy. Often this combination indicates the withdrawal of the emotional response over a long time, perhaps in a period of celibacy. What the fuck? I literally just was talking about my whole journey of celibacy and all that. Often this combination indicates the withdrawal of emotional response over a long period of time, perhaps in a period of celibacy. God damn it, can't talk. But yeah, I understand exactly what it means too, because like, as I've been doing this, like, my emotions have been changing, the way that I respond to things have been changing, the way that I communicate has been changing. But like, it's also like, damn, I'm cutting out a large part of my life. Like I'm not connecting in a certain area anymore, but I'm connecting with myself in that same area, you know, like I'm not having to do that with myself, you know, and be able to cultivate that energy. So like I'm learning how to connect emotionally in a different way, I guess. Yeah. So the rest of it says, when one receives this card in a reading, it usually indicates that a deep secret is being held by the questioner or is being hidden from them by someone very close. Events: a secret liaison, a secret love, a passionate love affair, money comes to a partner, and shared inheritance, an expression of extreme jealousy. So I'm going to talk about the events. I am also an intuitive person. Like, obviously I'm an intuitive person. So there's someone that has a message here that is being clearly presented, and I want to go ahead and speak about that. For somebody out there, there is a certain inheritance that is being hidden from you. There is money that's being hidden from you. And you are in a situation right now where you really need it. But what is being asked for you, the reason that the money's being hidden from you is like it's another person. That person is standing in your way, but it's also like spirit is acting as that person in a sense. So it's like, yeah, that person is doing a horrible deed, or like got some money that you deserve and you need, but also spirit is holding it from you because you need to do something for your soul. You need to ask yourself what it is that you need to stop doing and what you need to start doing so that you have access to that inheritance. You have to turn your frequency up. You have to stop whatever you're doing. Whatever it is that you're doing, wherever that message is for. Yeah, go ahead. If you want it, if you want to keep being in that situation that you're in right now, by all means, keep doing what it is that you know you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, so a secret liaison, a secret love, a passionate love affair. Love is in the air. Somebody's gonna be mad that you in love, whether it be an ex, whether it be friends, whether it be family. You know, there's always gonna be some jealousy for what you have. You know, it's always gonna be somebody out here that's looking at what you got and wishes what they had, and might wish ill will on you in here and because of that. You know. But it's not for you to take in. Just be in that love, protect your love. I always say like after the situation, like my last relationship, I was just like, all right, bro, like no one's gonna really know about my relationships except for like, you know, me and my person I'm in a relationship with. Like, it's best you keep that people out of the relationship, because people are messy. People really do fuck shit up, you know. Like, some people just feed off of that energy. Like, you doing great, you existing, and they just want to fuck it up because they don't have it themselves. You know, that's always what it is people who feel like they don't have it themselves. Like, even for the people who don't have it themselves and are still, like, keep their ego in check, they understand that one day they will get that. Or even if they don't want that specific thing, they understand that you have it and it's for you. Like, I understand that. Like, I don't... Like, people got other stuff that I wish I could have, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, that's really cool. One day I will have that too. In this particular zone, I'm not mad at you, I'm not jealous of you, I'm not envious of you. I'm proud of you. Go do your thing. Go crazy. Go stupid. You know what I'm saying? That keeps you in a much higher frequency than being like, God damn, I wish I had that shit. I wish they don't have it. You know, what the fuck did they deserve it? You know, like that energy is like spiteful. It's like you start tapping into that lower energy shit, and then like your life follows. Like you forget about whatever you want because you're not gonna get it off that energy alone. You know, that's why, as I said, it's important to forgive. It's important. If you really want what you want, there's a price to pay. You know, it's not like a negative price. You know, Spirit just wants you to enjoy life. You to be happy, but you know, the price is you getting up in the morning. Like, you gotta go, if you want to make money, you gotta go work. Like, whatever work looks like for you, you gotta get up and go do it. But yeah, that pretty much wraps this up, this episode. This episode is entitled Zion. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. It helps me get this message to other people. If you enjoyed this video, turn on the notifications for the my episodes, this whole channel, just in general, because I'm gonna be dropping just regular tarot too, or maybe not. Who knows? I'm still trying to figure it out, going based off everyday basis. But yeah, make sure you do those things. Like, subscribe. It helps my channel. It helps the channel grow. I want to be able to grow this channel like in the next couple of months. I know that it's not an overnight process, but if you can help and share, more the merrier, you know. Anyways, peace, love, and light to you, goddess and God, whoever you might be, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode.
Falling up, baby, keep that ransom up in my face, I love. Baby, gotta hit the 80 when she coming on my love. Maybe she just need to hit my phone, or maybe leave me alone.